Test 1 2, test 1 2. I think we are live this morning. Thank you for confirming that we are live and the audio is good so far. It's a bit windier this morning than it was yesterday, so we shall see how the players respond this morning. I'm going to go back on mute for a few minutes, and then once warm-ups are over, we'll come back, and hopefully technology doesn't fail me this morning. Zamboni's just about done, and we should be underway here in just a few minutes with warm-ups. Again, hopefully technology is on our side today. If not, I will manually move the camera back and forth as best as possible. The Yellow Jackets take the ice. I have other gloves too. I'm good, yeah. Here come your Des Moines Jr Buccaneers. In goal today will be Cora. Overcast skies mostly. Temperature a little warmer than yesterday. Let's see. We are at 26, but feels like 9 because there is a bit of a wind breeze kind of swirling around. Couple minutes left for warm-ups, and then we will be underway. Weather report. Yes, of course. Got to provide the weather. Got to set the scene so everybody knows what we're dealing with out in the elements here. I have two. I can tell you how many. And my socks, they're plenty thick. No snow in the forecast today, but I expect the wind to maintain its brisk, I would say, westerly breeze. Being chided by some of the moms watching on the stream about me being a Minnesotan. Absolutely. Looks like a few players have opted for a couple extra layers. I see Atlas with a hood peeking out of his jersey along with Keith. Other players have opted for a face mask like Charlie. I think Will has one as well. And they all were supplied with hand warmers this morning to put in their gloves. And Latex gloves also work well to keep your hands warm in the wintertime, so that some players opted for those underneath their hockey gloves. I have a sneaking suspicion that the AI tracking is not going to work this morning, but we shall see here shortly. If it doesn't work, I will just move the camera back and forth. Not ideal, but we'll make it work. Pucks are coming in. Move the camera back to center. Let's see what happens here. Okay, we're just about ready to get going. Cora in net with Henry and Alex at D, Atlas at center with Miles and Keith on the wings. Puck is down, picked up immediately by the Yellow Jackets. They get into the zone. So far, technology is working. That's a great thing. And cover made there by Cora. Not seeing it. Face off in the defensive zone. Oh, sorry, guys. It's way out of focus. Play back there, neutral. Picked up by Keith. He gets it into the zone. Played along. Tried to get it over to Miles. Smothered there by the Yellow Jackets goalie. Offensive zone face-off upcoming for the Buccaneers. Come on. Puck is down, picked up by the Yellow Jackets behind their net. Played back around. They come up out of the zone. Met right there by Alex. Comes along to the near wall. Goes into the defensive zone. Camera can't pick up quick enough. Covered there by Cora. Defensive zone face-off here, taken by Kale. Wins it, comes all the way out of the zone. Picked up by the Yellow Jackets. They play through center. Chael hustles after it. He's got Kale and Charlie out there. Played through neutral. Caught up in Kale's skates. He gets it into the zone. Played all the way down. Picked up behind the net by the Yellow Jackets. And they cycle around, come up to the point. Met there right by Fipsy. And comes all the way down. No icing on the play. And I'm going to have to go regular on this because the camera can't catch up. Comes back down, picked up at the top of the circle by Kale. Goes over a stick, comes out of the zone. Picked up there by Charlie, fires it right back in. They're on sides at the line. Kale with it, shoots on goal, goes off the pipe and wide. Comes free to the corner. Charlie there to meet it. Picked up by the Yellow Jackets. Simon with it. Chases it down. He's got a Yellow Jacket player right on him. Push back into the zone. Yellow Jackets with it in their own defensive zone. They fire it up and out of the zone. Went by Simon, so no icing. Played into the corner by Phipsy. Picked up by the Yellow Jackets. The far circle. Played with Kale. He fans on the shot. Can't quite get it out of the zone. Picked up by the Yellow Jackets. Now Simon with it. Goes off of Charlie's shin pad or pants, and he fires it up out of the zone. Comes back through neutral. Pushed back into the defensive zone by the Yellow Jackets. Met there by Bo. Bo's tackled down on the ice. There'll be a penalty upcoming to the Yellow Jackets. Pretty blatant rough there. He tackled him on the ice. We will go on the power play. It'll be Hudson on the draw. Played back to Henry. Henry tries to fire it towards the net. Gets picked up by the Yellow Jackets. They clear it over the red line. Comes all the way through. Picked up behind the net by Hudson. He skates it up the near wall. Loses possession of it. Alex is there to support. So is Carson. Hudson with it again. Gets it into the zone. He's got Will streaking towards the net. Will with it. Takes a shot. It's blocked. Goes behind the net. Picked up there by Carson along the far wall. Bo with it. Gets it over to Henry. Henry takes a shot on net. Cover there by the goaltender. Unfortunately, I can't tell you how much time's left in the period. I think it's 7 something maybe. This will be Atlas on the draw, still on the power play. Played behind the Jackets, Yellow Jackets net. Comes all the way free to the point. Picked up there by Alex. He fires it on the net, goes wide. Picked up again by Keith, goes behind the net, and he scores! Scoring for Des Moines on the power play. Number 28, Keith. Puck is down, played there by Atlas. Phipsy takes a whack at it, pushes it all the way back in the zone. Keith hustles down after it, but it'll be icing. So it'll come all the way down to the defensive zone for the faceoff. It'll be Atlas again on the draw. Puck is down. One there by the Yellow Jackets. They try to get it to the net. They can't quite get it there. Traffic out front. Pushed aside by Phipsy and Atlas. Atlas taken down in the play. Looks to be getting back up, but quite gingerly. Yellow Jackets player falls in the corner. Keith taken out on the play. Picked up there by the Yellow Jackets. Keith's back up. He plays it back into the defensive zone. Gets it back himself. Comes back through neutral. But they're offsides at the line. Puck is down. Kale on the draw there. Picked up by the Yellow Jackets. They steer it into the zone. Bo hustles after it. Bo tries to push it right back up the wall. Met there by a Yellow Jackets player. Comes back through neutral. All the way down. And it'll be icing. Puck is down, picked up there by the Yellow Jackets. Penalty. No, face off at center ice. It's Kale, Chael, and Charlie with Bo and Simon back on D. Face off, pushed down into the Jacket zone. They pick it up behind their net. Met there by Chael. They fire it up the far wall. Hops over Simon's stick. It comes all the way down. Bo back checking nicely to support. Goes behind the net of Cora. They push it right back around. Picked up by Chael. He fires up the wall to Charlie. Charlie touches it forward, or maybe it hopped over his stick. I couldn't quite see far enough. Came all the way back down into the offensive zone. They try to fire it up the glass, but it doesn't quite clear the zone. Still maintain offensive possession. Picked up by Charlie. He takes a shot. It's blocked. Goes up in the air. Comes back down. Picked up by Chael. He backhands it, but it goes wide of the net. Comes back to Charlie. He backhands it. Yellow Jackets player lost their glove. Chael with it. He fires it back behind the net. Comes all the way up to the point for Simon. Simon with it. Tries to get it over to Kale. Couldn't quite get the stick on it in time, so it went through. Comes back through neutral. Picked up by the Jackets. They come in on the onside at the line. Met right there by Simon. Fired it back up the wall by Kale. Pushed back behind the net. Picked up by Bo. Bo backhands it. Tries to get it back up the far wall. Can't quite get there. Simon picks it up now. He pushes it up the far wall. Hops over the defender's stick. Picked up by Chael, but it goes all the way down and it'll be icing. Just a half step too quick on the shot going into the zone. So we will have a defensive zone faceoff upcoming with maybe 4:39 left in the first period. It would be my guess based on what I can kind of see. It'll be Hudson on the draw. Hudson goes over to Carson. Carson with it. He clears the zone. Comes up through center. Pushed up along the near wall. Goes into the zone. Met right there by some Yellow Jacket players. Alex fires it on net. Yellow Jackets get it back. Comes through center. Picked up again by Alex. He tries to backhand it. Can't quite get enough on it to clear it. Picked up by a Yellow Jackets player. They got it. Good look at the goal, and they score. With 4:18 maybe left in the first period, we are all tied. 4:18 or 4:10, I can't tell. It'll be Hudson on the draw. Puck is down, picked up by the Yellow Jackets. I'm switching mittens. It's a little chilly. Played up the wall. Alex chases it down along the far wall. Backhands it out of the zone. Comes through neutral. Tries to get it over to Hudson. He gets it over to Hudson. Hudson with it. He's got speed along the near wall. Makes a nice move. Takes a shot. Goes wide of the net. Comes all the way around. Picked up there nicely by Will. He fires it right back in behind the net. Intercepted there, made by Hudson. Maintaining good zone possession right now. Alex pushes it right back down deep. Will hustles in after it. Will picks it up behind the net. Tries to center it out front, but it goes off the back of the net. Goes right back around the other side. Comes all the way over again to the far wall. Picked up there by Alex. A little too far for Alex to keep it in the zone, but it goes all the way down for icing. 3:06 left in the, or 3 minutes even, I can't tell. Puck is down. Draw taken there by Atlas. Picked up by the Yellow Jackets. They fire it down. Picked up by Simon. Gets it over to Miles. Miles can't quite get it out of the zone, but Atlas is there. Clears it out through center. Pestered there by Keith. Keith takes a tumble on the play, but gets back up. Yellow Jackets come in. Glove save made by Cora. Comes back around to the far wall. Comes right out front, and Cora covers it. Defensive zone faceoff upcoming. 2:25 maybe left in the first period. Atlas on the draw. Wins it back to Simon. Simon pushes it up the far wall. Tries to get it to Keith. He's met right away there by a Yellow Jackets player. Keith with it again. Gets it back. Skates through neutral. Gets it into the zone. They're on sides at the line. Loses possession of the puck, but played back behind or into the far corner. Keith there to try to free it. Pops out to a Yellow Jackets player. Atlas intercepts. He tries to stuff it in by the backside. From the side of the net, excuse me. Can't quite get it there in time. Comes into the near corner. Picked up by Fipsy. He takes a shot on net. Doesn't quite get a whole lot on it, so it picked up immediately there by a Yellow Jackets player. Played over to Simon. Simon back up to Keith. Loses possession of the puck. Gets it right back, but they're offsides at the line. Face off here for Kale with Charlie and Chale. Face off picked up there by the Yellow Jackets, but Kale gets it back. He tries to backhand it deeper into the zone. Alex and Bo back on D. Bo takes a tumble. He gets back up. They got a breakaway towards the net. They try to put it in the backside, and they can't quite get it there. They fire it right back out front, and it goes wide of the net. Nice save by Cora. Kale hustles. He gets it out of the zone. Picked up by Alex. He fires it in. They're on sides at the line. Comes all the way down. Picked up behind the net by the Yellow Jackets. They push it right back around. They come over through center. They get it back in. That right there by Bo. Puck goes wide of the net. Picked up behind the net by Charlie. Picked up by Charlie. He skates it up all the way out of the zone. Takes it all the way in himself. Fires it towards the net, but it goes back behind. Picked up by a Yellow Jackets player. Pushed right back deep into the zone by Alex. Charlie behind the net. Has possession. Takes a backhand. Goes off the side of the outside of the net. Goes back behind. Kale with it. Gets it up to Bo. Bo backhands it. Doesn't get a whole lot on it, but enough for Charlie to hustle over there to get the puck back in deep. He fires it towards the net, but there was nobody there at the perfect time to make a one-timer. And that'll do it for the first period. Score reads 1-1. Are you first period intermission and entertainment? I'm happy to put the camera over to you. Yeah. Whatever you want. We can make anything work. The first period intermission entertainment didn't book anything for today. Maybe next week we can get the lady who puts the plates on her head or something. I'll move it. You want to be on camera? I'm happy to put you on camera. About ready to get going here for the second period. We switch ends. Hudson on the draw. Puck is down. Picked up there by the Yellow Jackets. They fire right on that. Glove save made by Cora. A little bit of a collision out front there, but everybody seems to be okay. I think it was Carson that went down on the play. Fipsy there to make sure he's okay. Gives him a pat on the back. Hudson on the draw. Puck is down. One back nicely by Hudson. Gets it over to Henry. Henry tries to clear the zone, but can't quite get it out. Comes right back in. Picked up again by Henry. He fires it up the near wall. Played along by the Yellow Jackets. They fire it back towards the net. Goes wide of the goal. They fire it towards the net. Stick save made by Cora. Goes back behind the net. Comes to the near corner. Picked up by Will. Will pushes it along the near wall. Hudson there to support. They get it up and out of the zone. Played back through neutral. Yellow Jackets fire it right back in. Picked up by Carson. He gets it to Hudson. Hudson gets it right back to Carson. Then gets it over to Will. Will with it. Clears the zone. But they're offsides at the line. Puck is down. Picked up again by the Yellow Jackets. They skated into the zone. Comes back behind the net. Met right there by Simon. Simon with it. Gets it over to Atlas. Atlas along the near corner. Keith there to pressure at the point. He picks his pocket, takes it away. Keith with it. He's got a breakaway. It's Keith all alone. Takes a shot, and he scores! His second goal of the game, number 28, Keith Damon. Puck is down. I think Atlas was on the draw. Came back. They pushed it in briefly into the zone. Comes back to neutral. Simon digs at it. Nice body position by Simon. Little extra rough stuff there by a Yellow Jackets player, and I think Simon might have retaliated one too many times. No, never mind. They're calling it on the Yellow Jackets. They got the initial one, but not the follow-up by Simon. So we will go on the power play. See if we can get another one here. It'll be Atlas on the draw. Again, 5-on-4 for a minute 30. Face off. One right there by Atlas. Gets it over to Keith. Miles pokes at it. Oh, tripped up on the play as a Yellow Jackets player, and we're going to go right to the box. No, they do not call a penalty. Never mind. I apologize. Looked like he had his arm up. Little extra slash there on Atlas. They didn't call it. Comes back through neutral. Picked up by Miles. Over to Keith. Keith with it. Keith with it again. Takes a shot on net. Save made there by the goalie. I could have sworn I had saw that the ref had put his arm up, but we will be happy that we didn't get called for a penalty there. Couple fresh set of skaters there for the Bucs, it'll be Kale on the draw with Charlie and Chael, Alex and Henry on D. Face off there by Kale. Gets it back to Charlie. Charlie tries to flip it over to Chael. Comes right off a skate. Goes up the wall. Picked up again by Charlie. He fires it towards the net. Bounces off the outside. Goes behind the net. Hustle down there by Chael. Henry with a nice play to keep it in the zone. Charlie comes away with it. Makes a nice move. Charlie with it. Takes a shot on goal. Save made by the goalie. Good pressure, Bucs! Face off one by Kale. Gets it right back to Charlie. Goes back to Kale. Kale fires it towards the net. Goes wide of the net. Kale with it. He takes the shot. Goes off the post again. Yellow Jackets player skates out of the zone. Comes all the way back through neutral. They get it in over the line. Short-handed. Take a shot. Goes wide of the net. Chael with it. Loses the handle. Picked up by a Yellow Jackets player. Power play is over. Picked up behind the Yellow Jackets net as it comes up to Alex. He flips it up. Goes back in deep. Picked up by Kale. Intercepted there. Picked up by the Yellow Jackets. They skate through center. It's 3-on-2 at the line, but they didn't hustle enough and they were offsides. .41 or 7 left in the second period. Again, it's hard to tell with the scoreboard. Played back into the defensive zone by the Yellow Jackets. Met right there by Hudson. Hudson and Carson with it. Comes over to Phipsy. He flips it back towards the far wall. Comes back behind the net. Comes around, picked up by Hudson. Will there with it. Will takes a whack at it. But there's a Yellow Jackets player still in the offensive zone, so it's offsides. Face-off will come at center. Taken there by Hudson. He skates with it. Picked up by Bo. Fires it right back in. We're on sides at the line, so Hudson hustles in after it. Yellow Jackets player falls on the play. Gives Hudson time to pick it up. Takes a shot. Goes right in the midsection. And he scores! Scoring for Des Moines. Was Hudson. Not sure what happened right after. There was some confusion. But the goal will count. And that'll be Hudson scoring on it. Number 98. Three to 1 with 6:33 left. Puck comes up and goes over the net. Over the glass and out of play. Picked up there by a spectator. They fire it over the glass. They do. Back into the field of play or the playing surface today. Back on the ice. They fire it on net, goes into the corner. Alex with it. Pushes it along. Gets it over to Atlas. Comes up to the point. Met right there by Keith. Tries to break it up. Atlas with it again. Gets it over to Miles. Miles gets it out of the zone. He skates it out. He's got Keith with him. Keith has to hold up at the line so they're on sides. He does. They get into the zone. Met immediately there by a Yellow Jackets player. Comes right over to Atlas. He takes a shot. Goes just wide of the net. Good pressure. Picked up by Simon. Simon tries to fire it back deep. Gets deflected. He takes a backhander to try to get it back deep again. Met right there by a couple Yellow Jackets player. Alex there to support. Comes all the way out. Have to regroup through center. We touch up at the line. Nope, Yellow Jackets come with it away. They fire it on net. Glove save made down by Cora. She covered it for just a split second too long, and they blew the whistle even though she tried to push it into the corner. Again, apologize for having to manually move the camera today. It's something with the AI technology that doesn't like the outdoor with all of the glass panels and backdrop, I believe. Okay, we're back to live action. Picked up by Kale. He fires in behind the net. Met right there by Chael. Chael with it. Got his pocket picked up by a Yellow Jackets player. Comes back through neutral. Henry with it. We got to get back on side. We don't, and face-off will come out to neutral. Henry's back up after looked like a bit of a high hit. Puck is down. Kale on the draw. Picked up by Henry. He fires it in to the offensive zone. Comes around the back of the net. They play it there. Chael there to break it up, so they can't clear the zone yet. Played back deep behind the net. Charlie tapping his stick on the ice. He wants the puck. Kale fires it towards the net. Glove save made there by the goalie, and he covers it. Stoppage in the play. Offensive zone face-off upcoming. Kale on the draw. Picks it up, goes behind, back of the net. Charlie with it. He backhands it back deep into the zone. Yellow Jackets player goes down in the corner. Charlie with it again. Backhands it. Met right there by another Yellow Jackets player. He tries to fire it back deep. Comes all the way around behind the net. Behind the back of the net. Chael with it. Takeaway picked up by the Yellow Jackets. Comes out through center. Henry with it. Play back through neutral. 3:59 left in the second period. Played into the defensive zone. Henry takes the shot, whiffs on it. Can't quite get it out of trouble, but Cora saves. Seems to be some little bit of extracurriculars happening. Referee's having a discussion with the Yellow Jackets coach, who seems to be upset that there wasn't a penalty called. Hudson on the draw. Puck is down. Pushed back into the far corner. Comes around the back of the net. Picked up there by Bo. Pushed up by Simon. Carson there to support. Tries to get it out of the zone, but met right there by a Yellow Jackets player. Goes wide of the net. Picked up behind it. Ooh. Bo's pushed into the back end boards, but he gets back up. Tries to get it over to Will. Goes right back in the deep in the zone, picked up by Simon. Simon with it. Will takes a swat at it. Comes out through neutral. Played by the Yellow Jackets. They fire it back in. .2:35 left in the second period. They fire it on net. Steered aside by Cora. Picked up along the near wall by Will. He skates it out of the zone. Comes up with it. Loses possession of it. Goes back behind the net. Met right there by Hudson. Oh, fire toward the net. Tipped out front. Carson takes a shot at it. Can't quite get it in there. Oh, Simon with a nice shot to get it through the slot, but they can't connect for a one-timer or a tip. Good pressure here. Hudson with it. Puts it back deep in the zone. Play back around the near corner by the Yellow Jackets. Back up to Simon. Simon fires it back deep over to Carson. Simon with it. Fires it to Will. Just goes wide. Pad save made by the goaltender, and they cover it. 1:49 remaining, I think, in the second period. There's a Yellow Jackets coach that's quite animated on their bench. Holy moly, man. Just youth hockey. He's screaming at his players as they're on the ice. That is what's wrong with youth sports. Let the kids play. Coach them when they need to be coached. Okay, puck is down. Miles hustles over to get it. Picked up there by Alex. Over to Miles with it. Tries to get it out of the zone, but he can't quite clear it. Yellow Jackets pick it up. They fire it towards the net. Glove save made by Cora. Comes back free. They take another shot, and it's covered by Cora. .117 remaining in the second period. Fipsy with it. Over to Atlas. Back to Miles. Miles tries to pop it up the boards, but it's blockered down there by a Yellow Jackets player. Fipsy takes a whack at it again, tries to get it out of the zone. Ooh, just not quite enough on it to clear the zone there. Played into the near corner. Atlas there. Shot on goal, goes wide of the net. Cora hustles over to seal off the other side. She does. They take another shot. It goes wide of the net, back behind. Where's our helpers? And now she's got it. Cora corrals it. Stoppage on the play. 30 seconds left, I think, in the second period. Kale on the draw. Yellow Jackets player picks it up, plays it back into the far corner. Kale hustles over to pick it up, gets it out of the zone, played along the far wall. Comes back into the offensive zone, fires it over to Chale. Chale takes a shot, goes wide of the net. 4 seconds left. Penalty upcoming for a trip. So Kale will sit for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and there's only like 4 seconds left in the second period. Charlie on the draw. comes around, and that'll do it for the second period. After 2 periods of play, the score reads 3-1 in favor of your Des Moines Jr Buccaneers. Start of the third period, and there's 1:25 left on the penalty to Kale for tripping. So we'll be 5-on-4 for another 1:25. Puck is down, picked up there by the Yellow Jackets. Met through neutral. Charlie knocked down on the play, gets back up. Yellow Jackets player goes down, takes Alex out, and there's going to be a penalty assessed. And they called Alex on a trip for that. I don't know what game he was watching, but I didn't see a trip. They looked like they got their feet tangled up, and the other guy fell. And initially, the Yellow Jacket player thought that he was going for the penalty, or they, or she, whatever. The other player. So we will go 5-on-3 for. I can't see. Sorry. They take a shot. Blocked down there by Henry. Hudson over there. Try to break it up. He does. Fired on net. Goes around the back of Cora. Comes back up to the point for the Yellow Jackets. They take a shot towards the net. Pushed out of the zone by Henry. Nice defensive play by Henry to clear it. Hudson chases down after it. Yellow Jacket player plays it back behind their net. They come up through center of the ice, skate through neutral, had his pocket picked up there by Hudson. Hudson with it. Again, we're 5-on-3. Goes wide of the net, steered aside by the Yellow Jacket player. They get it up and out of the zone. Henry hustles back after it. He's got Simon to support. And Hudson with a nice defensive back check to pick their pocket. He comes back over into the offensive zone, makes a move, but he can't quite cut towards the ice. Kale's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-4 now for, I can't see, sorry. Picked up at the point. Skated through neutral. Yellow Jackets have numbers. They're on sides. They're not on sides at the line. Penalty box is empty. Yes. So power play is over. Puck is down. Push right back into the defensive zone. Phipsy meets it right away with Carson, and Will to support along with Hudson. He's still out there. They push it right back into the zone. Phipsy backhands it out of the zone. Comes to the near wall. Picked up by Bo. Into the near corner. Picked up by Bo again. Gets it over to Carson. Tries to clear. Will's there to support. He pops it up the boards, but they can't quite clear it. Stays in the zone. Comes back through neutral. Played out through, or played back by Carson. Carson with it. Fires it up to Hudson. Hudson with it. Momentarily gets his stick lifted or broke it up just enough to turn it over. So the Yellow Jackets fire it right back in. Comes all the way through the high top of the circles in the offensive zone, but they're offsides. So we'll have a face-off in neutral zone. .402, I think, remaining in this third period. 402 or 902, I can't. No, 902. So it's 8:58 left in this third period. Pushed back in by Keith. He takes a shot, goes wide of the net, comes back around Atlas there. Henry with it, tries to center. Comes all the way through, picked up by Alex. He gets it over to Atlas, pushes it back down for Miles. Miles tries to center it, goes off the skate, goes behind the net. Comes to the top of the zone. And Alex is twisted down on the play. Stoppage here for an injured Bucs player. I believe it's to be Alex who went down. Kind of got twisted up and got tackled down. Looks to be getting up on his own. Jason out there to check it out just to make sure. Alex gets up on his own and skates off gingerly to the bench. Appears to be okay. Neutral zone faceoff upcoming. It's a bit of a collision at the blue line. It kind of looked like he just got kind of twisted up with the other player. Atlas on the draw. Played along the far wall by the Yellow Jackets. Miles with a nice back check. Picked up by Atlas. Tries to clear the zone. He does. Gets it up to Keith. Keith with it. Plays the puck. Loses it for a second. Gets picked up by Miles. But the Jackets clear the zone. Henry takes a swat at it. Simon there to support. And they break up the play. Comes back. Sorry, camera went too far. Comes back into the far corner. Simon takes a whack at it. Jackets player with it. Picked up again by Henry. Gets it over to Keith. Keith with it. He skates it up and out of the zone. Skates through center. Nice move by Keith to make some time and space for himself. Gets it over to Miles. Picked up there by Atlas. Atlas with it. Fires on net. Blocked down there by a Yellow Jackets player. Then Miles backhands it into the corner. They pick it back up. Up to the point for Simon. Get a skate out front. Tripped up on the play, and Keith will sit for a minute and a half. Penalty upcoming on the Bucs for tripping. Just got to stick in there a little too much. Down to 6:47 remaining in the game. It's Kale and Charlie with Fipsy and Bo out there for the penalty kill. Charlie with it, up along the near wall. Charlie with it, makes a nice move, gets it into the zone. Takes a shot towards the net, goes around. Picked up along the far wall there by Bo. Kale with it, takes a shot on. Gets a Yellow Jacket player out front. Kale with it, nice job to intercept it. Keep it into the offensive zone. Bo with it, he's got to wait for us to clear the zone before he fires it back in. He does, but it was not onside. Kale on the draw upcoming. 52 seconds left in the penalty. Kale with it. Kale takes a shot, fires it just wide of the net. Picked up by the Yellow Jackets. They skated up the far wall. Bo and Charlie there. Play back into the offensive zone. Behind the net. Comes up the near wall, picked up by Fipsy. But he can't maintain possession, so we got to clear the zone. But it goes in offsides. .25 seconds left in the penalty kill. Hudson on the draw. Puck is down, won by the Yellow Jackets. They take it away. Henry with a swat at it, and they called another penalty. Henry will sit for a minute and a half for a tripping, I bet. Or a slash. I don't know. So it's 5-on-3 for 20 seconds, I think. He was playing the puck. They shouldn't have called a penalty on it. That's my that's my opinion. Okay. This ref won't let him play either, so. 5-on-3. 8 seconds left on the 5-on-3. There will be 5-on-4 for a minute and 11 seconds maybe. Keith hustles out of the box. Will on there is another defender. Comes into the defensive zone. Picked up along the near wall by the Yellow Jackets. Turnover picked up by Hudson. Hudson with it. Plays along the near wall. Comes out through center. Will hustles down after it, but it goes too far. And it'll be icing. Penalty to Henry will be over in 34 or 45. I can't tell. 43 seconds. Hudson on the draw. Puck is down. Wins it back to Simon for a second. Hudson with it now again. Skates along the near wall. Skates it in. He's got Will with him. Hudson tripped up on the play. Loses possession of the puck. Comes up the near wall. Yellow Jackets hustle back. Simon there on the back check. He's got Bo breaking with him. And Cora covers it, swats it to the corner. No stoppage. Penalty to Henry will be over shortly. 12 seconds left in the penalty. We're down to 4:15 left in the game. Picked up by Hudson. He plays it back. In on sides over the line. He takes a tumble at the blue line. Gets back up. And there will be a penalty called for a trip. So we will go on the power play.
All right, let's go, Bucs.
So there's four something left in the game. Atlas on the draw here. He's got Keith and Miles up to Fipsy. Fipsy takes a whack at it. Gets it over to Atlas. Atlas tried to push it over to Miles, but he couldn't quite get it there. Yellow Jackets with it. Picked up nicely by Henry to maintain possession. Can't quite keep it in, so they clear it out through center. Tied up nicely there by Miles. Good back check there by the Bucs. Comes up to the far wall. Met there by Keith. Over to Miles. Miles with it. Miles tries to fire it out of the zone. Picked up by Atlas. Atlas pops it up the wall. All the way down. Hustled there by Keith. Yellow Jackets player. And they called another penalty on Keith for tripping. I don't understand. I'm not one to criticize the refs, but I don't know what this guy sees. Let the kids play. So the power play is negated. .303 left in the third period. Covered by Cora, swatted into the corner. It's 4 on 3, excuse me. Miles with it. Takes a shot, fires it on net. Sticked away by the goalie. Pushed up the far wall. Chased down there by Henry. Henry fires it right back and up. Can't quite clear the zone. Atlas there to support. Miles gets it back through neutral. Played through neutral. Yellow Jackets enter the zone. We're on the penalty kill. .205 left in the game. Covered there, made by Cora. Smart play to cover it. Had a Yellow Jackets player right on her at the time, trying to jam away at it. Penalty to Keith will be over in 27 seconds. Charlie, Kale, Bo, and Simon. Win the draw, comes back out through neutral. Hustled down there by Kale and Charlie. Kale with it. Loses the puck. Gets it right back. Goes back deep into the zone. Push back behind the Yellow Jackets net. Penalties over to Keith. Played through neutral. Picked up by Bo. Skates behind the net. We're down to 1:14 left in the game. Yellow Jackets goalie still in net. And they whistle it down. Face-off will come out to center. No problem, Andrew. Happy to help out. Comes back into the defensive zone, but it'll be icing. We're down to 57 seconds left in the third period. Again, thanks everybody for watching today. Apologize for the camera issues that we've been having when we've been outside. Not sure if there's any way I could fix it. Picked up by Shale. Tries to center it towards the net. Goes wide. Picked up by Charlie. Fires it towards the net. Kale lost a glove on the ice. He's playing with one glove. His left hand has no glove. He skates back to get it. Picked up by Simon. Simon backhands it up the near wall. Met there by Bo. Bo and Charlie there to support. Comes back to the point. Yellow Jackets with it. They take a shot. Goes wide of the net. We're down to 17 seconds left. Stick save made there by Cora. Pushed out of trouble by Bo. Comes all the way out of the zone. We're down to 8 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that'll do it. Final score, your Des Moines Buccaneers 3, the Yellow Jackets 1. Thanks again to everybody who watched at home. We're back in action next weekend, back in Des Moines for a couple friendlies on Saturday and a couple on Sunday up in Ames. Okay, that's it for the live stream today, everybody. Thanks again.